ratchet. Niggas want me to attack it. Put the hood on, all they calling me Cassius. Run you like Bob Saget. Pretty, I can't pass it. Eating everything, nigga, no fasting. I don't care how much you knew me in the past tense. I ain't no Julia Styles, this ain't no last dance. Way past it, way. Fucking on my ex, cause he validate me. Fucking up a check, I don't want no receipt. Money get possessed, I might speak freely. Hey, my cash can't escape me. My pussy perceives me. Why my all the time change? I'm still playing the victim, and you still playing the picky.
She says I'm actually quite strong. Really?
Big boy.
Yep.
Nice.
Jim.
Who's disrupting my vlog?
He is, not me.
Who is disrupting my vlog and making loads of ruckus? Diesel? Is it you?
Here, watch it. That's it.
Morning guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Welcome to episode 2 of the prep series, and welcome to Alicante. As you can see by my current setup, we are in a little bit of a different environment. We have officially moved to Spain. Last time I did a vlog on my channel, I was actually up in my loft room packing all my stuff and all my possessions and having a little mentee bee because I was letting go of everything that I worked so hard for to move here. And fast forward 3 weeks later, here we are. I can officially say we have settled in because the first week we were actually here for Christmas. My mum was over from Dubai, well, my parents were over from Dubai, and my mum's sister came over as well, and it just felt like a little bit of a holiday. Since then, we have settled in fully. We're back in our routine. We're back training at the same time, eating at the same time, and it just feels so good. I know I found it really, really hard to move from Stoke and just say goodbye to all of my things, but I'm just so grateful that I did. And we actually just finished recording a podcast where we were talking about things that we were leaving in 2025, and one of those things that I said was I am letting go of attachment to things, because experiencing this transition has truly been amazing for me, and I just feel like I'm finally moving forward with my life the way that I want to. So since we are officially in our little routines and prep is still very much prepping, I thought I would pick up the camera and update you guys on everything that's currently going on, where I'm at in terms of my physique, what my current macronutrients are, steps, cardio, PEDs, and also announce my show date. So stay tuned for the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as always. And without further ado, let's get into it. It is pre-workout time, and as you guys saw, this is still pretty much the same pre-workout that I've been having for like the last, was it 3 years now, George? We did actually change it up a little bit because we used to just have oats, and now we've got a mix with oats and cream of rice. Currently using the Trained by JP hazelnut spread cream of rice, which thankfully is now present in the EU, because since moving to Spain, we've had a little bit of an issue with supplements. They don't have Perform Protein here. They don't have, well, they didn't have Trained by JP up until the 1st of January, where Trained by JP basically launched their EU site. We mix those in together, make them in the morning, we have them cold. How much do I have in here in total?
30 grams cream of rice, 30 grams oats.
60 total. Got 100 grams of frozen blueberries, 50 grams of frozen raspberries, 40 grams of a whey paste with the Perform Protein that we brought with us in the van, 15 grams of peanut butter. Unfortunately, again, we don't have pippin nut almond butter, which is usually my go-to if you guys are in the UK. Make sure you put that on top of your oats because it tastes absolutely delicious. The Aldi peanut butter we'll have to do for now. I actually did order almond butter and cashew nut butter from My Protein EU, so we'll try that out next time. Yeah, it's coming on Monday through to Wednesday, they say.
I thought you didn't buy it because it was just too spenny.
I know, I bought it because I was like, I just want to try it. Girls in prep, so she's going to spend money on food. Pre-workout's going in around 90 minutes before training. In terms of macros at the moment, I'll actually touch briefly upon that. They have not changed. They have not changed since the start of prep, which I'm so surprised about because I'm not going to lie, I thought I would be at this point in prep and having to eat like grass for breakfast, lunch and dinner, but my body seems to be responding on the calories that we are on. So I'm going to whack out out my sheets because I follow a meal plan, so I don't actually macro track. I find that this works well for me. I don't have any food focus. I like my meals and I don't find it restrictive to anyone that says meal plans are restrictive. If you like what you eat and you like your meal plan, you're gonna stick to it. So meal plan, excuse me. Macros currently are, training day is 186 grams of protein, 245 grams of carbs, 51 grams of fat, which brings me to 2,183 calories. Rest day foods is 180 grams of protein, 196 grams of carbs, and 51 grams of fats, which brings me to 1,963 calories on the rest day. So girl's eating good. I'm a 5'2" girl. I don't have the most amount of muscle present. So for me to be dieting on over 2,000 calories on a training day is like the biggest win for me, because I used to honestly have to dig deep, high cardio, low foods in order to see a shift in scale weight. But I think what we did this time around, and this was like data gathered from all the diets that I've done in my off season, is that we went straight from like 2,900 calories to 2,100. We didn't do like 200 calorie drops, 300 calorie drops. We just went straight in, and my body was like, okay, I guess we are dieting right now. And this is what works well for me. I've had a comment already about it, like, don't you think you're digging too hard if you're flat right now? No, I've gathered so much data, and this man right here, Georgie boy, who is my coach, he knows me inside out and he knows what works well for me. So if he tells me to eat shit, I'm gonna eat shit. That is the current macronutrient status of this prep. Again, a disclaimer to any person watching this: if I diet on this food, it doesn't mean you need to diet on this food. You may be able to diet on much higher, or you may need to diet on much lower foods. This is just what works well for me. Is this even a focus? Yeah, this is just what works well for me, and it's not changed since the start of prep. But I'm anticipating it to change probably in the next couple of weeks.
Maybe, who knows?
Maybe, who knows? George wasn't listening to a single thing that I was saying, but I'm gonna munch on this, and we are going to be watching something on YouTube. At the moment, we are struggling with any sort of YouTube content. If you guys have got any recommendations as to who to watch, good series or whatnot, please let me know. Just pretend you didn't see that. I'm tired today, so I've got a little pick-me-up monster. You're gonna share it with me?
I'll have a sip, but I might shit myself.
I was gonna pretend this is just like a little water drink, though George doesn't tell me off, but you've caught me. White Monster, not my favorite. Gives me PTSD to exam season, actually. I prefer the mango one, which is like the blue turquoisey one, but this will do for now. I'm not gonna have another coffee because I'm scared I'm gonna get bloated. I feel like if I have too much coffee, I'm gonna be sent to the toilet. We're gonna have caffeine in a different form.
It's probably not a bad thing for you, to be honest, going to the toilet.
I know, sorry for the TMI, but we're at that point in the diet where my bowels have slowed down. Lovely. She said my lifestyle is no nice. Hi guys.
Hello.
We just got to the gym, Titan Fitness Alicante, and we are in for legs. This is our, actually no, I was gonna say it's our main leg session together, but we now have 2 leg sessions together because George's split has changed ever so slightly. We now have 2 leg sessions together. One's a posterior focus, so glutes and hamstrings, and then one is the quad focused one, which is the one that we've got today. This session has not changed for us for about a solid year and a half. It's the same layout, the same main compound. It works well, we love it, we enjoy it, and most importantly, it buries us. I can confirm that this monster has done absolutely nothing for me. I'm still very much tired, but we were literally driving and just saying that, like, when we feel a little bit under the weather or when we feel more tired than usual, we don't see the gym as like a nuisance. We don't think, oh fucking hell, we have to go to the gym now. If anything, we actually think, oh my god, I gotta bloody send it more. Like, I gotta try harder, I gotta do better. Like, that's how I go into these sessions feeling.
Absolutely. I think I've got a bit of a sore throat, cough, coldy type thing today, and never does it cross my mind thinking, oh, today I need a rest day. I was saying to Vix, like, there are people that went to war and fucking fought for countries and put their life on the line, and you're sitting there going, oh, today's gonna be hard, so I'm just gonna take a rest day. Like, really? Like, I think we're too soft nowadays in this world. Like, don't get me wrong, if you're actually like seriously ill, then yeah, take a rest, but if you've got a bit of a sore throat or a bit of a runny nose, like, see it as, okay, well, today's a hurdle, but how am I going to overcome this, and how am I going to fucking tell myself that I can still do this? You just keep going. That's how I see it. Keep going. Like, these days are, especially in prep, are the ones that fucking make it. They really do. Those are the moments where you look back when you're stepping on stage, and some of you might think, oh, he sounds like fucking whatever, but these are truly the moments when you're sitting there and you're winning first place at your fucking show. These actually separate the days where people just go, or these are actually the moments that you think about when you're on stage. Because I don't think about the good times when I'm on stage. I only think about the hard times. It sounds so fucking cringy, but I only think about the hard times, and I think, fuck me, those hard times really built me into the person that I am right now.
You know, these are the moments that count, and I always say to myself, like, your competition is working right now, and the judges don't care if you had a little bit of a sniffle. Like, you got to get into the gym. And yes, like George said, granted, if you are genuinely really sick, it might be counterproductive. But right now, like, I feel fine. I just got a little bit of a sniffle, and I do feel a little bit more tired, but you know what? It is what it is. Big session today. We have got adductor, hamstring curl, leg press, Smith squat, extension,
and I've got calves, and you've got
abductor. 6 movements. I'm gonna mic up and speak in the gym, even though I'm very, very shy to do that. She's gonna step outside of her comfort zone, and Georgie boy's gonna help me.
Yeah, of course.
You are my comfort blanket.
Yeah, of course. I help
you.
wherever I can. If you see some good edits, angles, you know it's from videography company coming soon.
Videography, Georgie boy.
Definitely.
Before we go in, I'll just touch upon my split, which is still very much the same as what it was before. Legs off, legs off, legs off. But now what I'm doing is I'm doing kind of like a 3-day rolling split. So I'm doing legs, cardio, abs and calves, legs, rest, legs, cardio, abs and calves, legs, rest. This just works a little bit better for me. I found that doing cardio every other day was just battering me a little bit too much, to the point where it was coming counterproductive. And also what I've done is I've just taken calves out of my sessions and abs out of my sessions, so that I don't spend as long doing that session. I can fixate on the movements that matter. Not that abs and calves don't matter. It's one of those things that I could just add whenever. So I found that this works really, really well for me, and I'm just going to continue that throughout prep up until I need to change it for whatever reason. But that is the current training split. Spoken about nutrition, and then later I'll speak about steps, PEDs, and show dates. I can't walk now. I don't know how to walk. Top set for me. I actually did 20 kilos on this, which I've never done before, so to do 7 + 1 reps was good, but my form was a little bit shite, so might go down a weight next time I do these. But starting off on the single leg hamstring curl, doing this as the first exercise because someone was on the adductor and I didn't want to waste time. Single leg work is actually really, really important, because not only are you actually able to progress on strength, also highlights any imbalances that you may have. I've actually got an issue with my left hip, so I've got like a anterior rotation which externally rotates my foot. This, as a result, creates a little bit of a hamstring imbalance for me, and my left hamstring is much weaker than my right. So when I do unilateral exercises, ultimately I'm able to, 1, figure out where the imbalance is, 2, work on it accordingly, because if I'm doing constantly bilateral exercises, that stronger side can compensate for the weaker side quite a lot. I always start off with my weaker leg, then go on to my stronger leg, and then what I will do is I'll just match reps. So if I get a maximum of 8 reps on my left, then I'll just do 8 reps on my right, even if my right can go for more reps, if that makes sense. One thing I experience with my external rotation with my hip is when I go into my lengthened position, I actually get a little bit of a clicking in my hamstring. And because I know the reason why that happens, aka my foot is externally rotated, so it's prone to going this way, when I'm doing hamstring curls, I'm actively thinking about pulling my foot inwards, so having more of an internal rotation. So what you'll see me do quite a lot is really rinsing the eccentric. I know that seems excessive for some people, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend that to everyone, but that allows me to really think about what I'm doing with my foot, and rather than my hip naturally pulling it this way, I can pull it in this way and actually engage my hamstrings the way that they're meant to be engaged. So a little bit of a tip from me to you, because I appreciate quite a lot of people actually do have outward rotation of the foot. If you find this or find clicking in your hamstring, just trial that little internal cue and it might actually help. Next exercise is the leg press. Hammer strength, horizontal leg press, one of my favourite ones. And as you can see, I've already put into my logbook 2 in a 15 or 9 reps. I sometimes do this, especially when I'm starting to get into my head in sessions. I will literally pre-write how many reps I'm anticipating myself to get. I actually did 2 in a 10 for 9 plus 1 last week, so this is very ambitious.
This one I beg you, baby, Jabata. I know get time,
So we didn't quite get it this time. We got 7 plus 1, so I was 2 reps off. I was gonna say 1 plus 1 off, but I was 2 reps off. And you know what? We didn't get it this time, we'll get it next time. And that's what bodybuilding is about, constant progression. Not perfection, constant progression. I'm trying to say that to myself because I'm pissed off.
I say what?
I'm trying to say that to myself. I'm like, it's about progression, not perfection.
No, fuck
I'm
that.
trying to do this motivational speech just so I can get over the fact that I've gone a hump because I was meant to get 9 reps and I got 7 plus 1.
In Vicky's head, it's not good enough. It's a fucking disgrace. You're a pussy and should have done more. You just weren't good enough. That's how it is.
I should have done more. I should have done more. It's progression, obviously. It's better than last week, but I should have done more. And I will do more.
I want enjoy, I want jump life, I want buy motor, I want build house, I still want to know. Tell me, what's it go? You want go? All the Bentley, the cafe, ride the boat, I know feet, die for nothing.
You're going to have them on the first rep.
I don't think I can. How bad am I meant to help you with the first rep without?
I don't think we'll be able to get it up.
I know
Yeah, but how am I meant to help you with that?
schemes and packaging. Now I like for shows and juggling. Flow like the rich, goat and paddling. Shout out, shout out, and that's my bro, my family. When it comes to money, I get on straight. Like I tell you straight, you are not late. If you come, so maybe you have to stay. But my people, they don't say I don't want fight. I know one time, I know one time. I want enjoy, I want jump life, I want time to do, I want to do. I still want to know. What's it come? You are go, all the Bentley, the cafe, ride the boat, I know feet, die for nothing. What's it come? You are go, all the Bentley, the cafe, ride the boat, I know feet, oh now.
Here she is.
Here she is. If you compare mine and George's sets, we're set up a little bit differently. My hips are way more forwards than George's are. If you're going to follow anyone, follow George. Don't do it the way that I am, believe it or not. George is doing it better. That is the only time I'll say that. The reason why I'm pushing my hips forward is because this machine is, I think, broken, to be honest with you. The pads don't go out far. Maybe I'm just so flexible, but because they kind of start here and the tension starts like quite far in, I need to push my hips backwards in order to stretch my adductors more. Otherwise, I'll be doing like half reps. But by doing that, I can actually lift a little bit heavier. So I guess I'm kind of like cheating myself. The other thing you could potentially do is you can get like pad or like a fake seat or potentially yoga blocks to move yourself forward, but I don't think this gym has yoga blocks. So in the meantime, I'm just going to scoot my bum forwards. But if you are following anyone, follow George. Hips back, belly button in, core engaged, brace hard, drive in. These are so important, girls, if you are competing, especially because it's what gives you the illusion of having thick legs. Long gone are the days where you want a thigh gap. I remember when I first started the gym, all I wanted was a thigh gap, and I used to go on Pinterest of these girls like in skirts and like thigh high full socks, and they used to stand there like this. They used to be like, oh my god, I really want a thigh gap. Now I'm just like, hide this, please.
She said I'm right. This video is complete. I'm happy. I'll record Vicky every single day now. I'm well happy about that. So Vicky, why are you doing one working set on the Smith machine squats?
Am I doing one working set, am I?
You are doing one working set.
George is basically pulling me back a little bit with training, because the goal right now is to preserve muscle tissue and lose body fat and not necessarily grow more muscle tissue. And I need to remember that, because every single time I go into a training session, I just want to annihilate myself, and I want to do 10 million exercises, and I want to do 20 million drop sets, and that is just not sustainable in prep. Like, that's not a good thing to do, because you're going to create an unnecessary amount of inflammation, you're going to create an unnecessary amount of cortisol build up, and that's what's most likely going to cause my scale weight to stall anyway. The thing that I will say though is you actually need to earn fatigue management, because I see like so many people now speak about like fatigue this, fatigue that, like don't get too fatigued, but you actually need to train hard without sounding bitchy. Does that sound bitchy?
No, take pride in what you do.
I take pride in what I do. You got to actually train hard in order to be able to be pulled back from fatigue. Like, I'm not going to tell everyone, actually, do you know what? Don't do 2 sets, like don't do 3 sets, because some people actually need it because they're just not there yet when it comes to training to failure. But when I'm training legs every other day, and I am training to failure, I'm training past failure with some of the sets that I do, it's just ultimately not sustainable for a little girl like me. And as well, I'm not pushing assistance. So like, I think that's something I need to say. I'm actually talking about assistance whilst I'm at it. I might as well say my current assistance is 20 micrograms of clenbuterol, which is a fat burner, and my baseline HRT or TRT. Not in super physiological ranges. My testosterone is 1 nanomole, and that's where I'm keeping it, just to keep it stable throughout the prep. Like, I'm not throwing anything in, especially this early on. Like, it's not needed. I'm just going to include them for transparency. And again, a disclaimer: what I use is not what you should be using. First of all, you should not be using PEDs.
Can I just say, half the girls that are using this don't use what Vicky uses. They use a shit ton more than what Vicky does.
I think that's just the reality of it. I've been speaking to, a lot of pro wellness athletes. I've been speaking to a lot of people aspiring to become pro wellness, and the things that they are using is like way more than what I would ever consider using, especially at this current point. Like, I am not an elite amateur yet. Like, I'm not aiming for a pro card, so I'm not going to be doing that sort of stuff. I just earn my right to do that. Does that even make sense? I'm so fucking tired. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But ultimately what I'm saying is I'm not chasing a pro card this season. Like, I'm not going to be putting androgens in place just for the sake of it. I'm not going to put it in place just to look a little bit better and feel better about myself within prep. At the end of the day, I'm happy running flat. At the end of the day, I'm happy pushing my training, fixating on food, nutrition, and good sleep, because I just want to be able to maximize that and maintain my femininity, because that's something that's important to me. It might not be something that's important to you, but it's important to me. So that's what I'm going to do.
At the end of the day, like, though Vicky's got plenty of tools that she can play with when it's needed, and at the moment of time in her bodybuilding journey, it simply isn't needed. So
I don't need it. And I also still act like a natural bodybuilder. I still get my 8 hours of sleep. I still train really, really hard. I still nail my nutrition. I don't fucking binge. I don't go off plan. Like, I still fixate so much on those things, which is what has allowed me to make the progress that I have using as little assistance as I have, in my opinion. Could I have made more progress? Maybe, but it's just not something that I'm willing to do. Like, I'm just not willing to push gear. That's that. Let me get into my set. I hear that keeps me walking past when I film, and all that I've got in my head is like, everyone in here fancies me.
I just want him to feature. I'm not asking, does he want to feature?
He just wants to feature because I'm so famous. I'm such a YouTuber.
Nice. Very good. Let's go. Yeah. Now here we work. Quality and drive. Yep. At first it was sexy, and then it turned into, oh shit, she's actually good. Like, is this real or not?
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh shit. Fucking hell.
Last exercise of this session session is the abductor. This is the booty builder, the glute builder, abductor, which I actually love. This actually came the week that we moved to Alicante, and I literally came in here and I was like, they knew I was coming. This machine, you've got a few different settings. You can actually have the seat a little bit higher or further backwards. I use this machine twice in my rotation per week, so I've got it on 2 sessions basically, that's what I'm trying to say. One session I'll sit more upright, one session I'll lean more backwards. I notice that when I lean more backwards, I'm able to just target my glute medius a tiny bit more. When I lean more forwards, I do hit my glute med and my glute max, just because you kind of like press downward, so it goes out and down. So what I tend to do on this machine and with any abduction movement is I make an active effort to posteriorly rotate my pelvis. So I'll just like tuck my glutes under, think about pulling my belly button in, and then what I will do is I will purely push with my knees, not my feet. Can I drop set? Can I rest pull set?
Drop set?
Oh, the temptation. The temptation. So, physique update. I am currently at my lowest weight to date this prep. Actually, was it today? No.
Yesterday. At your lowest today.
I am at my lowest today. I'm getting my days mixed up. That's correct, 57.45. I've actually not been this light since my last prep in 2022. For me, it feels actually a little bit surreal. I went into this prep with absolutely no expectation. I actually went with into this prep with the thought of, well, you know, you weren't able to lose it before, like don't be surprised if you can't lose it again. And I think because I've just taken away so much expectation from myself, my body's just decided to respond. And every single week I've seen consistent drops, minus 1 week where we took a little bit of a diet break, because that's why I started prep so early, so I can have Christmas Day and Christmas Eve off plan with my family. Even then, I think I dropped like 0.2 of a kilo, but apart from that, I've been dropping like 0.8, or I think my lowest has been 0.5 of a kilo drop on average. So your girl's doing good, your girl's doing good. I can't lie, I feel like a little boy right now. I feel so small, and I think that just comes as part of prep. Like, you will go through the phase where you're gonna go through a fat and flat stage, and ultimately what that means is your carbs drop, expenditure goes up, you deplete your body of glycogen storage or sugar stores in your muscles, which is what needs to happen. As a result, the water is taken out of your muscles and they just look like a deflated sponge. This is all whilst you're still holding body fat, so you don't have that pop to the muscle. Body fat is still there, hiding certain areas. Like my upper looks decent, like, I won't lie, I'm looking at my upper and I'm thinking, fuck yeah, come on then. I'm literally doing like a but my lower half is still very much holding a lot of body fat. Relaxed shots look very much like this. Upper body is pretty much in, like my chest, I've got chest veins, which is great. Obviously it's not like in, I'm still gonna get leaner through my upper body. I'm probably gonna get delt striations in, I would say probably like the next 5 to 6 weeks. From the side, I'm looking as so. Midsection is pretty decently lean for me. I hold quite a lot of fat through my midsection in my off season. My waist stays small, but I do hold quite a lot of podge.
It's also worth mentioning that, yeah, okay, Vicky needs more of her lower body, but also what we need to remember is that she trains legs 3 times a week. She trains really hard, so there's a shit ton of inflammation in those legs as well, which if she dropped that inflammation, her legs would be a lot leaner than what she's seeing right now. So at the moment, it's needs must, but obviously when we do have the time to pull off fatigue or rest or refeeds, whatever it may be, or even when it comes to peak weeks, you know, those legs will come out way more. But throughout her prep, she's probably not going to see what she's hoping to see until it comes to show day, when it actually matters. So right now, like, yeah, okay, they're getting lean and they will get leaner, but they are going to be inflamed to fuck, and that's just simply with how she trains, what category she does, and when it actually matters. Right now, she's moving in the right direction.
Sí, muchas gracias. Back, side. Let's do a little bit of some quarter turns.
Niggas want me to get ratchet. Niggas want me to attack it. Put the hood on, let me catch this. Aren't you like Bob said? Greedy, I can't pass it. Eating everything, nigga, no fasting. I don't care much you knew me in the past tense. I ain't no Julian style, this ain't no last dance. We pass it. Wait. Fucking on my ex cause he validate me. Fucking up a check, I don't want no receipt. Mind get possessed, let my spirit speak freely. Hey, my past can't escape me. My pussy precedes me. Why my how the time change? I'm still playing the victim and you still playing the pick me. It's so embarrassing. All of the things I keep living inside of me. I can't see it. It's so embarrassing. All of the love I see living inside.
Post-workout in, and now we can sit down and talk about the fun stuff, which is the show dates. Initially, I wasn't actually going to share my show dates because I really wanted this prep to just be chill, and I didn't want anyone's opinions and comments surrounding whether I'm ready or not, which is exactly what I had in 2022. But then I just reminded myself that, you know, I'm actually not that important, and I want to be able to showcase every single part of the journey with you guys for anyone that's watching this, so that they can relate to it when they're going through the first prep, and also for me to look back on and be like, oh my god, it was so cool when you were like 12 weeks out. I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna announce my show dates so that you guys can follow along the journey and just be present and yeah, just feel like a part of it, really. So initially the POA was to only do a PCA show and do a first time as PCA, then do the universe, and then just kind of be out. However, plans have changed ever so slightly because I actually spoke to George about this, and I was like, look, this is my first season and I know I'm going into it with still a lot of growing that needs to be done in order for me to be at the level that I want to be. I am aware of that. So I'm not going into this competition season planning to take top 3 or planning to get a pro card, most definitely not. I'm just going into it to see how much I enjoy each federation, to see where I stand, to get feedback, and to see how far away I am from the girls that ultimately like I want to be beating in the future, you know, to be able to get those top placings. It would be silly for me to not take the opportunity to do these bigger shows, especially as a lot of them are actually here in Alicante. So the POA is I will be now doing NPC, or some people know that as like IFBB, even though it's technically not right because IFBB is the pro league, NPC is the amateur league. So I'll be doing NPC and also PCA. The plan is to do an NPC show on the 17th of May, then fly to the UK for the PCA qualifier, which is on the Saturday. If I get the invite, I'll do the PCA Universe, so the PCA Universe qualifier, and then do the PCA Universe, which is on the Sunday. Fly back to Spain, where potentially I will be going into the Amateur Olympia, which actually is just fucking crazy. I know I'm gonna get absolutely smoked there, but at the same time, it's an amazing show. It's an amazing opportunity. I'm literally gonna be here. Like, I don't need to pay for Airbnbs. Obviously, I need to pay for the show, which is gonna be super, super expensive in itself, but you know, I don't need to fly anywhere and book logistics of that. The dogs are gonna be here. They can be here on my show day vlog, and I just like the thought of that. So that is all the shows that we've got lined up. There is the Empro Classic, which is at the end of June, but I just feel like because I'm not aiming for a pro card, it would be silly for me to do that show and just continue, one, spending money on shows, and two, just digging my body into the ground. And you know, after the Amateur Olympia, I will very much know how much I need to grow, and from there I will just want to lock in into an off season, start growing, and come back better for any future shows after that. So it's pretty crazy because with the timeline in place, I think I'm around 17 weeks out at the moment, which seems so surreal, especially because I started prep like 7-8 weeks ago, and they've just gone in the click of a finger. And George keeps on laughing at me because I'm like, oh my god, in 7 weeks time I can say that I'm like 10 weeks out. Yeah, prep is just flying by. So I'm really taking my uttermost time and effort to just be present and enjoy it and make the most of it, and just be grateful that I'm able to do this. How do I feel about it? I feel nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I'm obviously going in with no expectations, but at the same time there is a part of me that's like, I don't want to embarrass myself, even though I know embarrassment is only a self-inflicted emotion anyway. So I'm going into it with optimism, enjoyment, and just most importantly, gratitude. That is pretty much everything summed up, where I'm currently at, my physique, how many weeks out I am. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and please make sure to subscribe if you want to stay tuned for the entirety of the prep series and all of the time after that, because this camera is absolutely not going anywhere, and this content is both going to be pumped out from my side and also George's side, so make sure to subscribe to his YouTube as well for his side of the prep. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.